And used to be Joanne Serini, and was born in Denver, but went home to Adams City, down by the high school. And that was 68 and a half years ago. So I may be the oldest, the person who has been in the city the longest. But
What year was that?
in 1940.
Okay.
Anyway, the really neat thing about our city is that we had a lot of men who decided that this place was going to be really special, and their families let them spend the time that it took for them to do a fire department, which started out to be a civil defense group, but then they built their own trucks, they put tanks on the back, they went to Denver and they took lessons in how to fight fires, and mostly they fought weed fires, but they also fought fires which were homes, you know. And so that same group of people were well organized, and they decided that, and I believe it was when the city wanted to come and take over Denver City, wanted to move north, and they thought that the refineries would be valuable to them, and so that's what they wanted to do. And people got together, and it was the Derby area to begin with. They got together and decided with these same men that they would make a town out of this area. And there were places that didn't come in. Rose Hill didn't come in, I think, at the beginning, and other places. And you know, Adams City and Derby were not. It was like on one side of the track and the other side of the track, but it started in the Derby area. And so they decided that if we were going to be a city and we were going to have people have houses where they could build a lot of houses, they had to have water, which was what Larry was talking about. Not everybody could have a well, and so that's where they started. And all of these things happen one thing at a time, pretty much by the same group of people. And they involved the man that was our postmaster for many, many years, Floyd Templeton, Dave Tedesco, who worked at the refinery. The Bonello family was involved in it. My dad, Earl Serini, the Greenemeyers down on Brighton Road that had a repair shop for vehicles, and that's where they built the fire trucks. And and then they raised funds for these things. There wasn't any tax money. They raised funds for the fire department, at least at the beginning, by having, at the beginning it was Fireman's Jamboree, I think it was called. And the men would get up there and they'd dress in drag and they'd entertain on the stage at the high school, and they would put gambling tables around the gym, and everybody had a great time, and the kids were there too, and it was a real family thing. The other thing that I think is really amazing is that Adams City High School used to be called Union High. And there's this very large group of people who meet every year and have a reunion. And there are people that graduated from Union or Adams City. When you hit your 40th reunion time from Adams City, they send you invitations to come to the big party, which kind of is a shock to your nervous system at that time, but it's a wonderful party. And so they've stayed organized through all these years, and I think that it would be wonderful if the people that live up north were to understand how really solid this community is. When I went to school, I graduated in '57. When I went to Adams City, there wasn't a house. If we'd have been in trouble on the street, there was not a house we couldn't have gone to. And people lived in little clusters. There were Danish people that lived in a cluster, and there were Italian people that lived in a cluster, and German people, and many other nationalities. But when it came to it, we were all together in this thing. We all knew each other. And I'm speaking of it from a child's point of view, because it was not my generation that did this. It was my father's generation. And we should be real proud that we had people that thought that far in advance. And another amazing thing about this city is I believe that even though we get bad publicity from time to time, the people that live here, mostly the seniors I'm talking about that live here, have made a decision at some point in their life that this is where they were going to stay. They could have left, they could have gone someplace else, but they made a decision that this was the town they wanted to live in for the rest of their life. And I have lived around this town for my entire life, but I am back actually within the boundaries now. And I live very close to the center of Commerce City. I live right off of 104th and Chambers. So anyway, thank you.